What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on if this sell-off is justified or not, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Right now, SoFi is down 5.73%, so it is getting hit rather hard, but as is the broader market. So the major indexes are down 2.5% plus, so definitely a lot of fear in the broader market. 667 the low, 695 the high, 32.03 million shares being traded, 38.9 is the average. So today's kind of high for the volume, but a lot of it is linked to algorithmic trading as well as shorts. Institutions aren't necessarily trading SoFi as much as they were, and those institutions that are trading SoFi are selling it based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So not necessarily the best chain of events. So what really kickstarted all of this fear is a lot of techs over the last basically 72 hours. I kind of mentioned this yesterday, but a lot of techs have been failing to give good future guidance, and oddly a lot of them have been signaling more of a slowdown. So that's not what the market wants to see or definitely hear. As well, if you couple that with what Powell recently said, initial jobless claims data that came out today, which was non-farm payroll, came in very low, 114,000 versus 176 the forecast. This is where now you get a lot of people talking about recession. And so right here you can kind of see just the likelihood of a recession occurring is starting to increase. So definitely a lot of fear in the market. Even the fear and greed index right now, it's about inches away to get into this extreme fear category, and we haven't been here since basically I think is just longer than a year ago. So yeah, it's a very unique circumstance. And plus, keep in mind, 2 days ago, Powell mentioned that there wasn't going to be any 50 basis point cut. They weren't even thinking about that. And before Powell even spoke, there was a 5% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut for the next meeting, for the September meeting. And post Powell, so yesterday, it jumped to roughly, I think it was 15%. Now it is 79.5% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. So the market is saying you need to cut ASAP. And a lot of people on social media are saying that Powell might be doing a emergency meeting in August, because I don't know if the market can actually withstand the current circumstances up until September 18th. So we'll just have to wait and see. But shorts are returning some shares right now. So 470,000 shares are being returned. 16.67% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 174.39 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 53.38, and then cost to borrow average is 1.03%. So the fact that shorts are returning might signal that today's sell-off was and is somewhat unjustified in SoFi's case. But at the same time, if you do analyze this information, it just shows the magnitude of institutions that are selling SoFi. So once again, not necessarily the best, so people aren't really buying the dip. If you are buying SoFi for whatever reason, let me know in the comments below. Based on momentum, shows it just going completely down. And so at the same time, algorithmic trading is probably feeding off of the full technical breakdown. I'm going to go over that in a second and a little bit more. But looking at options, 5.89 million in calls, 3.66 in puts. Sentiment-wise, 41% of all the options being done are bearish, so not the best. Even yesterday, where it kind of landed, I did anticipate SoFi to struggle somewhat with the 7. Didn't anticipate it to get hit this hard, but as you do see right now, these are some of the call options that are being purchased. So there's a consensus for it to be kind of around that $7 range by next week. This is the open interest. So you do see 23,000 at that 7, 5,000 at the 650. So that's somewhat optimistic, but yeah, SoFi is definitely getting hit quite hard. And I'll quickly pop over to IBKR, give you an overview of the Elliott Wave technical. So it does have a pivot point of 689. So for as long as SoFi is below that, then this is where it is anticipated to kind of hit the low sixes. So more of a further breakdown. And there was one new analyst rating, no price target given, but a buy rating done by Citi Peter, who has a 57% success rating. So all in all, I think a lot of the ratings that have been coming out over the last several trading days have been kind of low given the results, but maybe it's just because, again, like I kind of signaled, that SoFi was just portraying themselves, and Wall Street also sees themselves as just no more than a bank. That's basically it. So not the best chain of events that has been happening for the broader market and SoFi, but right now on the actual chart itself, so I'll pull up SoFi instead of good old pound here. So with it at $6.74, it is trading between these 2 points, so the S1 and the pivot. So $6.52 is that next strong support. So going into next week, so just kind of watch for that. And then $7.25 will be that next strong resistance / target on the actual chart itself. So it is breaking below that 50-day moving average right now. So you guys can kind of see that right here. So generally that has been a very big pivot for SoFi. So the fact that it is breaking below that, it's not the best. So again, kind of reiterates more of a technical breakdown. Typically, you need to watch for 2 consecutive trading days just to confirm a trend. So come Monday, if it is staying below that 50-day moving average, then yeah, generally it will probably hit that low 6s most likely. So again, not the best chain of events. So if you guys do know options or want to learn, now is the time, because yeah, you can always sell some calls for $7 strike price if you do anticipate more of a further breakdown, or you could do even bearish ones where it's $6.50. There's a lot of different variations that you guys can do, so highly recommend you guys learning options. This week weekend I'll be doing a dedicated SoFi example, just going over buying, selling calls and puts. But yeah, I think all in all, crazy day. I'm not really buying the dip on any stock at all, so I'm just kind of monitoring. And so yeah, we'll just wait and see what comes for the rest of the week. So do you think that this sell-off is justified, and where do you guys see things going within 1 week? Do you see that $6, or do you see oddly sub $6? What's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.